So without further ado, please welcome our wonderful Whedonverse guests, Miracle Laurie, Nicholas Brendon, and Kristine Sutherland.
Oh, shit.
You're such a... Oh, we lost one.
Oh, thank you. Hi.
Good morning, you guys.
Group high five for getting here on
Yes,
Monday.
love you.
I like that you all did it. A+. So if you have any questions for our wonderful guests, we have people back in the back to take your questions if you'd like to ask them anything about any of their shows and whatnot. So we're going to get started here real quickly. Miracle, so what'd you do this morning?
What did I do? Oh my God. Do you know where I just came from? This lovely couple. They call themselves the Nerdlyweds, which I think is really cute. They purchased the chair from Dollhouse, like the one that we sat in to get imprinted, and I just went and took pictures in it and did an interview in it, and I cried a little bit and I sang to it. It was really, really, really nice and very exciting. So it's like here in the building downstairs. That's what I sang the minute I saw it. I walked into the room, right? Isn't that exactly what I did?
I may have tweeted it.
Did you tweet it?
What?
I hate when she tweets at me like that. When
It was the cutest thing ever. She like did a dance across the floor.
Oh my
and
God.
sang to the chair.
Oh my God, it was so exciting. And it's blue, it lights up. I mean, it's like exactly the same. So that was kind of amazing.
Wow.
It's in this building right now downstairs. What if nobody in this room actually knows who I am right now and they're here for these too? And they're like, chair? That's great, nice. Kristine, could you tell me about the body?
I don't care, I still found it funny. We're both amused, it's fine.
Okay, so my mom named her son after the character Xander, and so we were wondering, what is the craziest thing a fan's ever done to impress you or know you or in any way?
The craziest thing a fan has done to me?
Done active.
For you.
Done for me?
To impress you.
To impress me? To impress me, it's, this hasn't happened yet, but if anybody wants to come to my house and detail my car, I'd be very excited. And I'm willing to take suggestions as well. You know, it hasn't really impressed me. What?
We have to try harder?
No, I was asking, no, that was like kind of like, that was a rhetorical I'm thinking, I'm getting inward right now. I'm not like impressed.
He's Googling it into the computer.
I'm saying no, like what?
Waiting for it to come up.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying. It's just such a. It's an odd question because like impress. You know, they tap dance a lot. You know, it's. I guess I don't have an answer. Everyone is super lovely.
Have you ever met any? Well, there was a baby here the other day, right?
That baby
Named
did not impress me at all.
Well, babies can't do.
Because
much,
like I'm
so-
used to like, because like I met a baby once that there's like a Pepsi One commercial where he's doing all that stuff.
Right. You met him?
Met him. And he didn't do it for me.
Do you want to ponder that question and get back to him on that?
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll think about it.
Oh, they're sitting. Have you been here the whole time when I told that story? Hey.
The two people here who knew what you were talking about.
Right. There's two people.
Is this them?
This is them. Stand up and wave. They don't know what we're talking about, but you should applaud them anyway.
Smattering applause.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My question's for Nikki.
Yep.
How did you feel, like your character in Buffy was the most mentally stable of all of them. And that's like beautiful in itself. But how did you feel about the differences between that and the character you played at Private Practice? Because it like literally made me like sob.
You mean going from being mentally stable to being mentally unstable? Well, the character in Private Practice, when you play a rapist, you don't particularly, whether it's a rapist or whether you're a murderer, you don't think that you're doing anything wrong. So that character was just as mentally stable as Xander. It's just on a different level. Because it's not like, I'm not walking around thinking, I'm a rapist. I'm playing a rapist. And so you just play it as normal as possible. Two completely different characters. It's also funny too because I remember it was I forgot I remember he had a middle name of Lee. It was like something Lee and then the last name, and I'm like, every single felon, his middle name is Lee, like a serial murderer, and they always have 3 names. But let's not forget Xander in the Pack too. He was trying to get something that wasn't his. So, but yeah, so whenever you play something, I tend not to play towards that, like what I'm playing. I try to play it as normal as possible. It's more effective, I think.
It's because you're a good actor.
I try to be.
One person thinks you're a good actor.
Thank you.
It's okay.
And now 10 do.
One panel at a time. We'll convince the whole world. It'll be great.
First of all, good morning. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for being here.
No kidding. Thank you for being.
I'm glad I made it. My question is for Mr. Brendon. After that long on a show and being Xander for that long, what was the moment that was most challenging for Xander, do you think, as that character?
But you mean for Nikki to play Xander or for Xander?
Either or works. I mean, what was the most challenging moment?
For Nikki, in the Dream episode, where I was doing the Apocalypse Now thing, I kind of go in and it's, did you guys recall something? My knees really did hurt down there, and sometimes, when I say, can I get up now, my knees are really hurting, so there was pain there. In the replacements, there's, when I was playing Schlubby Xander, I tripped a lot, and this is about 10 years ago, and I killed my right toenail, because I would always trip on this piece of concrete, because I wanted to make it look real. So that's in a lot of pain still. I got a slipped disc. No, I never slipped a disc. So, and then in terms of Xander, the character, I think all of season 7 was difficult for a couple of reasons. First of all, he kind of lost. He wasn't as funny. He became more real. And then the whole just the whole eye. Losing a body part, even though it's, I did have a lot of parties in my eye socket and everybody was invited. You're welcome. So I think that's probably not the real answer, but I don't know what the real answer is. So I'll keep thinking on that one too. I'm actually going to do a panel by myself at 5 o'clock to answer all your guys' questions.
Session.
Truthfully. So come back at 5 o'clock. Okay.
Hello, I have a question for Miss Sutherland. Over the course of Buffy, we see little pieces of who your character was as a younger woman, like her tryst with Giles. But I was wondering what you imagined happened in your character's past. What sort of woman she was when she was Buffy's age.
Oh, your backstory.
Ooh. Do you need somebody to come with you to that panel? Backstory.
You were obviously a stripper at one point. Really?
I think Joyce
Clearly.
was somebody who was a late bloomer, so I think she was very uncomfortable in her skin in high school. And in many ways it was painful for her to watch Buffy, and I think it made me sort of overly concerned, especially in that first season when they're younger and lost, and we've had that whole situation where we came from the other school, and so I'm really worried about her, but I don't quite understand what's going on. And I sense that she's got more confidence than I did as a teenager. So she's in territory that's not familiar to me. I think the divorce was pretty painful between me and her dad. So even as Buffy's finding her way through high school, I'm sort of finding my way as a single mom. Thanks.
Yeah, you sold them.
Who's next?
Hi, my question is for Kristine. I was wondering if there was ever any discussion between you and the writers about Joyce's brain tumor in regards to all the repression of Buffy's activities in the early seasons. On a recent rewatch, I noticed that they said in those early episodes, oh, my mom's not, dealing with this information, that can't be good. And I wondered if this denial was considered to be a factor. If Buffy being a slayer in some way played into Joyce's medical problems.
I don't think so, at least from my point of view. I think that was for me it was a bit of a red herring, because I knew I was going to die that season, so every script you're kind of like, whoa, okay. So when I got sick, I was kind of like, oh, am I going to have a slow death? And I was really curious about how I would die. But I think when people have tumors, they press against parts of your brain, and you're often sort of not all there. So I just took it on that level. But that's a really interesting point that you bring up, because you never know. I mean, sometimes that's the beauty of, I think, writers and actors, both in what they do, is things just sort of come out of your subconscious, and sometimes you're not even aware of how things link, but it's operating on that level, and then somebody says to you, oh, how about so-and-so, and you're kind of like, wow, yeah, that's amazing. But I was really, I thought it was incredible that Joss made me sick, and so you're kind of like worried about me, and how is all that going to play out, and then suddenly I recover, and I have that date, and I'm crazy about this guy, and I have a whole sort of new renaissance of life, and then just bam, I'm gone. Which is, I had always suspected I was going to go by an aneurysm, so it was like, and I almost had a couple of conversations about Joss, like, how about an aneurysm? But I never did, and I couldn't believe it. That's actually how I went. So, thank you.
Yeah, they're eating you up. I'm gonna get applause next time. Watch this.
Okay.
Bring my A game. Yes, sir. How can I answer your question?
Love all three of you and all you do. I have a question for Miracle, actually.
You know what the chair is, huh?
Yeah,
Do you hear this?
Yeah,
This is Dragon Con.
Absolutely.
Confro.
Same here. When I found out that Melly was just another active, a plant, a small piece of my innocence died that day.
I'm so sorry.
I was wondering, when were you told that you were going to be an active, and how did that change your approach to the character, if at all? Did your mindset change when you were told?
I actually auditioned to be the doll, November. Melly didn't exist in the beginning, actually. Are we gonna die? What was that? We're not gonna.
No, we are actually.
That's just William Shatner beaming in.
It's fine. Oh, good. I've been meaning to ask him something. No, I auditioned to be November, and everyone that, like, and Vera, Deech, and I all had to do, I think, 3 or 4 scenes when we auditioned and read for Joss and stuff to see, that we could be versatile or whatever. And Joss actually wrote a brilliant script and premise to introduce my character into the world and the story. And the network was like, that's dumb, no one would ever believe that, try again. Like, they did not like it at all. So, But meanwhile, they had invited me to come and meet all the writers and have lunch, and they're like, shit, we have nothing to tell her. Like, we can't tell her what she's gonna do, we have nothing to tell her. And they were like, well, maybe Paul Ballard should have a next door neighbor that's like a plant and spies on him, but he doesn't know him, we'll reveal it later. Yeah, Eliza should do that. Wait, she can't, she's doing everything else on the show. Okay, Miracle will do it, yes. Okay, what do we call her? I have a friend named Melly. Perfect. And then I showed up like an hour later, and they're like, so we have this brilliant idea. So that's how things happen, and sometimes it's just magic, you know what I mean? And I think it worked out great, and I think Melly was awesome, and I will love her forever, and I think it was a great device in the story. I think it was great for Paul, and Tomo and I had an amazing time. So I knew that November would come up eventually. I knew there'd be some kind of reveal. I didn't know when, you know, so I just played it. When you're imprinted, you don't know that you're imprinted, obviously, so you just play it real, so I just rocked Melly as long as I was told to, and then when I read that script, it just blew my mind that that's how it was going to happen with the turn and everything. And so it was pretty awesome. I was pretty excited when I read that that's how that was happening. So thanks. I got screams too.
Hi, I also have a question for Miracle. Was there a character that you enjoyed playing on Dollhouse more than any other? I know you just said you loved playing Melly, but like for some of the tougher characters like the bounty hunter, were there any...
I enjoyed being the bounty hunter. I'm a little bummed the scene didn't make the episode. Like I got imprinted and then it was like, and cut, and we'll just not ever follow through with that story. I think it's on the DVD extras. That was fun. No, Melly, Smelly. I called her sometimes, Smelly Melly. I don't smell. Why did I start calling her that? I'm asking my husband in the audience. Anyway, no, I thought she
Why,
was...
Chris?
Why?
Why? That's
Smelly Melly. Which is, I don't know. Sorry. I have ADD.